I'm 78 now. I moved into this place 6 days ago. They call it assisted living, but that's not what it feels like when you're unpacking boxes you thought you'd never have to pack. My daughter drove me here. She cried in the parking lot. I told her I was fine. I wasn't fine. I'm still not. And the thing is, I thought I'd feel something different. Relief, maybe. Or peace. But that first night, lying in a bed that wasn't mine, listening to a hallway that never gets quiet, I kept thinking about a number. 62. That's the age I was when I stopped noticing. Before 62, I had a routine. Every Sunday I'd drive to my mother's house. She was still living alone then, still cooking, still pretending her hands didn't shake when she poured the coffee. I'd sit at her kitchen table, the same table I sat at when I was 7, 10, 16, and she'd ask me about work, about the kids, about nothing really. I thought those visits mattered because I showed up. I didn't realize they mattered because she needed me to show up. I thought I had time. At 62, my job got busier. The promotion I'd wanted for 10 years finally came. Sundays became optional, then occasional, then whenever I could fit it in. I told myself she understood. I told myself she knew I loved her. But I stopped calling as much. I stopped sitting at that table. And she stopped asking me to come. 62 was also the year my son moved to Portland. He called me one night, late, maybe 10 or 11, and said, "Dad, I got the job. I'm moving next month." I said, "Congratulations." I said I was proud of him. I said we'd visit. But I didn't ask him if he was scared. I didn't ask him what he'd miss. I didn't tell him that when I moved away from my father, I cried the whole drive and never told anyone. I just said, "That's great, buddy. Really great." He moved. I visited once. We talked on the phone every few months. And then, I don't know when it happened, but the calls got shorter. The gaps got longer. I thought that's just what happens. I thought distance was normal. But now I'm 78, and I wonder, when did I stop being the kind of father he wanted to call? At 62, I also stopped going to the gym. My knees hurt. My back hurt. I told myself I'd earned the rest. I started staying in more, ordering delivery, watching TV until I fell asleep in the recliner. My wife, Mary, she'd ask me to take a walk with her, just around the block, just to get outside. I always said, maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow I was tired. Tomorrow I had things to do. Tomorrow I just didn't feel like it. She stopped asking around 64. I didn't notice when she stopped. At 67, my mother died. I got the call at work. My sister's voice shaking. "She's gone, Danny. She's gone." I drove to the house. The same kitchen. The coffee pot was still on. She'd made a full pot that morning, just for herself. I stood there staring at it and I thought, when was the last time I sat at this table? I couldn't remember. I tried. I stood there for 20 minutes trying to remember the last Sunday I came over. I couldn't. At 70, Mary started forgetting things. Little things at first. Where she put her keys. What day it was. My nephew's name. I didn't think much of it. We all forget things. But then she asked me one morning, "Do we have plans today?" I said no. She nodded, smiled. Then 30 minutes later she asked again, "Do we have plans today?" I took her to the doctor the next week. They said it was early. They said we had time, but I'd heard that before. At 73, I couldn't take care of her anymore. She'd wake up at 2 in the morning, confused, scared. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know who I was. I'd hold her hand and say, "It's me, it's Danny, you're safe." And she'd look at me like I was a stranger. My daughter said, "Dad, you need help. You can't do this alone." I said I was fine. I said I could handle it, but I couldn't. At 74, Mary moved into a memory care facility. I visited every day for the first month, then every other day, then twice a week. Then, I don't know. I stopped counting. At 76, she stopped recognizing me at all. I'd sit next to her bed, I'd hold her hand, I'd tell her about our wedding, about the trip we took to the Grand Canyon, about the time she laughed so hard at dinner she spit out her wine. She'd smile, but she didn't know me. And I'd drive home, sit in my kitchen, alone, and think. When did I stop holding her hand at home? When did I stop taking walks with her? When did I decide I was too tired? At 77, she died. The nurse called me at 6 in the morning. I didn't cry right away. I sat at the kitchen table, my kitchen table now, and stared at the chair where she used to sit. She'd drink her coffee there every morning. She'd read the paper. She'd hum while she buttered her toast. And I'd be on my phone, or watching the news, or just not paying attention. I thought we had time. At 78, my daughter sat me down and said, "Dad, you can't live alone anymore." I said I was fine. She said, "You're not eating. You're not showering. You fell last week and didn't tell anyone." I said I slipped. She cried. She said, "I can't lose you too." So I packed my things. I moved into this place, and on my first night here, lying in a bed that smells like cleaning solution and someone else's life, I realized something. I spent 62 years thinking I had more time to visit my mother, more time to call my son, more time to take a walk with my wife, more time to pay attention. But you don't get more time. You get the time you have. And I didn't use it. Now I'm 78. My son calls once a month, maybe. My daughter visits on Sundays, but she's tired. I can see it. She has her own kids now, her own life. I don't blame her. I sit in this room. I eat meals in a cafeteria with people I don't know. I watch TV shows I've already seen. And I think about all the times I said, "Maybe tomorrow." All the times I said, "I'm too tired." All the times I thought someone else would always be there. I don't know what I thought 78 would feel like, but it's not this. It's not supposed to be this quiet. If you're watching this and you're younger than me, when's the last time you called? Share this with someone who still has time. And if you want to hear more stories like this, subscribe, because I've got a lot more I didn't say.